My name is Eric. I'm a senior claims representative here at West Bend Mutual Insurance. Before coming to West Bend, I was a Washington County Deputy Sheriff for numerous years here in West Bend as well. I'm here to talk to you today about distracted driving. Most people think of distracted driving as texting or talking on the phone, eating, maybe even doing some personal grooming. But another aspect of distracted driving is a cognitive distraction, when your mind isn't focused on the road while driving. I think all of us can probably relate to a moment in time where we drove maybe home from work and you don't really remember how you got there. Your mind wasn't fully focused on what you were doing while you were driving, and the time that passed, you really can't recall. As a law enforcement officer and a claims representative here at West Bend Mutual Insurance, I've seen the devastating effects of distracted driving many times in many instances. However, the most impactful instance of a distracted driver was in my personal life. It happened in 1998. My brother was taking a trip to Colorado right before Christmas. He was a freshman at Marquette University. I had made the trip to Colorado many times to see the family that we have out there, and I wanted to give him some pointers before he left. One of the main things I wanted to address with him was that driving on Interstate 80 through Nebraska can be very tasking because it's very flat, there's not a lot to see, and it's a long part of the route. I specifically asked him just to make sure that he was well rested, or the other person that was driving with him was well rested as well. I found out later that he drove the 8 hours from West Bend to Omaha, where they made a change in drivers. A few hours after they made the switch and continued on their journey on Interstate 80, my brother's friend fell asleep at the wheel and entered the median. She woke up, overcorrected to try to get the vehicle back onto the interstate, and it entered a rollover. Both my brother and the driver were ejected from the vehicle. And my brother was transported by air ambulance to a hospital in Kearney, Nebraska. He had suffered significant brain injuries from the vehicle rolling over him and was being kept alive in hopes of brain activity returning. I woke up that morning to several messages on my phone, all of them getting progressively worse. First, that my brother was in a car accident, leading up to the last one from my grandma that had notified me that most of my family was already in Nebraska and they needed me down at Mitchell International Airport so I could fly to Denver as soon as possible and hopefully catch a flight or rent a car to get to Nebraska, because I didn't think he was going to live. I made it to Nebraska on December 18th. Before I had gotten there, they had pronounced my brother dead. I remember crawling onto the hospital bed and hugging my brother for the very last time. He was 18 years old. It was December 18th, 1998. 22 and a half years later, and I still think about him on a daily basis. Luckily, my brother's friend who was driving survived the accident. She sustained significant injuries, but was able to tell us some of the things that they did, like pulling over so Sean could take pictures of the sunrise, and that she fell asleep. It's a cognitive distraction, and that distraction changed the lives of so many people to this day. We lost a sibling, a son, a grandson, and a friend. He wasn't thinking that this could be the last trip of his life. This moment of a cognitive distraction changed the lives of so many people in just an instant. Driving is a physically and mentally demanding task, so you need to be prepared before you leave, whether you've taken the route that you're traveling or it's a new route, whether it's near or far. Make sure you're physically and mentally ready to make that trip, because one instant can change the lives of so many people. Not just yours or the people in your car, but other people you share the road with. The ultimate goal is to get wherever you're going safely